Remember when Caitlin Clark came back from the Olympic break and how awesome she was? Clearly, she was motivated by not making the Olympic team, but she also finally had a rest, finally had a chance to work on her game, which she didn't have coming into her rookie season because she went straight from the national championship game in college at Iowa to the WNBA draft to the reality of the WNBA. And she finally got a little time off to breathe, to work on some of her game, and she came out like gangbusters. And that was in the middle of the season, not with an off season. Now she has a full off season, a long WNBA off season to work on what she needs to improve on. And we know she's been in the lab. She's not at an unrivaled, but she's been in the gym and she's working on the floaters and she's working on change of pace and navigating pick and rolls and, cleaning up her 3-point shot, all those things. That's an issue. That's a problem for every other team out there because the Fever's front office is working on improving the roster. But considering Caitlin Clark produced more points than any player ever had as a rookie, with the time off to get even better and get fresh and refresh, I mean, she's essentially guaranteed to dominate the WNBA as an encore. And to that point, she's got people working with her on her game, including the new Fever development coach, Keith Porter, who joined Rachel DeMita on her Courtside Club show, Courtside Club interviews. And there were a couple sections of it. I'm going to play for you real quick. I will, of course, link the full show in the description. But to the point I was making, here was I've been saying it. I've been saying Caitlin Clark, by the way, is going to be the MVP. Been saying that. Been saying she's going to dominate the league and all that. So I didn't need this reinforcement from Keith or the interview. But nonetheless, it's nice to hear the words from someone in the know as well.
And then my goals for Caitlin, I just want her to just destroy everything, right? Like I want to give her like the extra tools to where now the way the teams used to play her, you can't do that anymore. You can't force her to take these shots. So now what do? You just got to take that. You just got to take these points and just get on the other end, right? So that's my goal. I want her to just feel super comfortable in every scenario, every coverage, whatever it is, and just destroy teams, right? The goal is ultimately a championship. And that's just my goal with like all my athletes. I just want them to feel good about their games and be confident and just go into the season, just with that joy, like that we all started playing when we was a kid.
Do you see MVP Caitlin on the rise?
Absolutely.
So there you have it from Keith Porter, the new player development coach with the Indiana Fever. There was one other little small section I want to play for you because he talked specifically about something he thinks she can improve on, which I thought was interesting. And common sense, really, when you're talking about Caitlin Clark and what she might be able to get better at, because it does make sense. She went at such a high speed all the time. So I thought these were some astute comments from Porter as well.
So the season comes, but for her, like just pace, like the stuff you guys seen in the workout, right? A lot of pick and roll work, and just learning how to like shift gears and play with different pace, right? I always compare it to like the men's side of the game, like the top guards, like the Brunsons, the Kyries, like all those guys. They have so many different gears they could shift from. They go fast when they want, they go slow when they want, right? And just learning how to like move the defense in that way. Because we know, like you were saying, she's seen every type of coverage, right? She's getting blasted on ball screens, right? They're trying to get the ball out of her hand. So learning how to slow down when she wants, to try to make that defense overcommit. Now we go the opposite way and things like that. And then just giving her like a few more finishes when she's getting downhill and things like that. So she has some more tools on her belt.
Rachel's full interview with Keith in the description below, so make sure you check that out. And that's the other thing with Caitlin Clark is not only do you not doubt her work ethic is clearly up to par. There's no questioning that, right? There's no questioning that she's going to put in the work to get there. But you also don't question what's up here. You don't question her mind for the game or her approach for the game. And you put those things in combination. I said this about LeBron James when he was coming up, when everyone was saying he was going to be this greatest or whatever, and I was a cynical kid And I went with my cynical hat on to watch him play. And after a few minutes, I was like, nope, they're right. Because you could see three things. You could see, one, that he was, the most physically gifted person ever. Two, you could see he was a basketball genius. And then the only thing that was missing is work ethic, which you didn't know yet, but clearly he proved that. So when you have the tools and you have the mental acumen, when you throw in the drive, there's nothing else. And Clark has all those. She may not look like LeBron, but trust me, Caitlin Clark is extraordinarily physically gifted. I mean, her ability to push the pace the way she does, her strength, she is strong. You don't realize her coordination to be able to handle the ball that she does, her hand-eye coordination and form to be able to shoot the ball. All those things are part of the physical package that makes up what Caitlin Clark is. So you have the physical tools. Then you have the mental acumen, which we've seen the way she sees the floor is at a gifted, extraordinary genius level, right? There aren't many players in the history of basketball, men or women, who have seen the floor the way she does. So the final question is drive. And you've seen it with Caitlin too. Clearly, she has the drive, the will to win, the will to get better, to put in the work. So, I mean, it's a guarantee. When you have that fever formula, it's a guarantee. There's no, I mean, as long as she's out there, she's going to dominate. She already did. She already did. It's just this long break in between is going to make people really fiend for it, right? Fiend for the fever. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Caitlin Clark, and we haven't seen it for a minute. But that's where a lot of the work gets done, right? I mean, yeah, they showed us that one video, but imagine what we haven't seen. And Paige Becker said that the other day about her 2,000 points. She said, everybody sees the 2,000 points, but nobody sees the work that goes in to the 2,000 points. We got a little insight into the work that's going in to improving Caitlin Clark's game. But, I mean, it's not breaking news. It's not anything new. It's not, telling you anything you don't know. But that Caitlin Clark MVP season's loaded. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Nafisa Collier is terrific. Asia Wilson ain't letting the trophy go easy. But I think we're going to see some banana stuff from Caitlin Clark in her encore.